Well, as some of you probably know me. I'm Center County Commissioner Mark Higgins. I'd like to acknowledge Commissioner Concepcion and Phillipsburg Mayor Strano, who are also here. We'd like to thank Governor Shapiro and his team for joining us in Center County to make this announcement. We warmly welcome you, Governor, to the Phillipsburg Senior Center, one of 6 senior centers that Center County government operates. This complex houses many people who are eligible for the Pennsylvania Rent Rebate Program, making it an easy choice of location for the event. Perhaps more importantly, the complex houses a senior center where seniors from the surrounding area enjoy the company of others and find resources available for them. Whether somebody comes here for home, to hang out, or for help, this space is a haven for seniors in the area, which it shares with the Rent Rebate Program. For years, the program has offered assistance and relief to seniors in Center County and throughout all of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And recently, thanks to the governor's efforts, more people are eligible for the program. You'll hear from one of them in a minute. Center County is seen as being demographically dominated by college students. But the reality is that we have a rapidly expanding number of seniors. Projections estimate that our 60-plus population will increase by 25%, and our super senior population at 85-plus will double by 2050. It's a breath of fresh air to bring additional well-deserved attention to our senior population, which is one of the goals of the Rent Rebate Program. Over 9,000 Center County citizens have been approved to receive a rebate. I want to close by reiterating that those eligible should apply for the program, and if any assistance is needed in that process, feel free to reach out to the Center County Office of Aging. We really appreciate you coming to Phillipsburg, Josh. Talking with the mayor, I believe you are the first governor to hold a press conference here in decades. Thank you. And now,
Thanks.
My friend Josh Shapiro.
Thanks, Mayor. Hey, everybody, good morning. It's a beautiful day in Phillipsburg, and Mr. Mayor said to me, he's been mayor for life, apparently, here for 20 years, and he said over the last 20 years, he can't remember a governor coming to Phillipsburg, and I'm thrilled to be here in Phillipsburg. I'm more excited to be here at Darlene's house. She invited me over for this important announcement, and so I'm glad to have the opportunity to share some really good news for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania right here in Phillipsburg. You know, I'm grateful to Commissioner Higgins for his leadership here in Center County, and I also want to give a special welcome to Pennsylvania's Secretary of Aging, Secretary Kavulich, who joins us here today. Thank you, Mr. Secretary, for joining us. This is a big deal, a big announcement, and we think Phillipsburg is the right place to make sure we share it. Let me just share with you some stories from my experience traveling across Pennsylvania. First as a candidate for governor, and now over the last, 17 months or so, as Pennsylvania's 48th governor. Time and time again, I'd show up in communities, some rural, some urban, some suburban. It really wouldn't matter where I was, and a senior would pull me aside and let me know just how challenging their circumstances were. With rising costs and them being on fixed incomes, they needed more help to be able to stay in their home or their apartment. I want you to know, as I travel around as your governor, I hear those stories. I internalize those stories. And those stories help me be a better, more effective governor for all of you. When I listened to those seniors, I made a promise when I was campaigning that we were going to deliver real relief. Now, I know in these sort of hyper-polarized, divisive, cynical times in our politics, sometimes when a candidate for office says they're going to do something, you kind of wonder whether they're really going to deliver on that promise or not. And I see some heads nodding along the way here. And I think that's probably a bipartisan cynicism that exists in our society. Well, I want you to know that Dad took office. I went to work to try and deliver meaningful relief for our seniors. And the best, most impactful, direct way we can help seniors with rising costs is to be able to expand what's known as the property tax rent rebate here in Pennsylvania. Expand it in 2 ways. First, to make sure that the relief was greater, meaning people got more help. And second, to make sure more seniors got more assistance than ever before. Because here's the problem. About 20 years ago, Pennsylvania started the property tax rent rebate program, and it's been really effective. The problem is it hadn't been updated for 20 years. So every time a senior would get a slight cost of living increase in their Social Security, it would actually knock them out of getting their property tax relief. Or as things began to cost more over time, it made the dollars you were getting from the property tax relief really not go very far. And consequently, we have failed to help our seniors over 2 decades. A lot of people in Harrisburg said we could never fix this program. We could never make it work for our seniors. Well, I don't accept never as an acceptable answer. We worked incredibly hard to bring Democrats and Republicans together to significantly expand the property tax rent rebate. And now, as a result of that new bipartisan law, I wanted to come here to Phillipsburg today to tell you that the check is literally in the mail, and seniors should get their relief next week by mail, or if they file to get their property tax relief electronically, it'll be hitting their bank starting on Monday. That is a big deal for seniors all across Pennsylvania. Now, as of July 1st, which is Monday, 442,000 Pennsylvanians are slated to receive $266 million in relief. And that includes, as you heard before from the commissioner, nearly 10,000 people here in Center County. And that is a significant number of seniors that are going to get help. To put that into some context for you, remember I said 442,000 Pennsylvanians are about to get that relief? Well, last year at this time, the number was 283,000. So we jumped from 283,000 to 442,000. And last year at this time, we delivered $132 million in relief. This year, we're more than doubling that to $266 million in relief. But that's not even just the best part. We're not done yet. You see, there are still 125,000 Pennsylvania seniors who qualify for the relief who haven't signed up for it yet. That's your money, and we want you to have it. So while the program was supposed to close on July 1st, I used my authority as your governor to extend the deadline to December 31st, so those 125,000 seniors are able to get their relief as well. It's important to note that, remember I said we will start on Monday, deliver $266 million to seniors? That's not capped, meaning every one of those 125,000 seniors that signs up and gets qualified, there's more money available for them. This is a big deal, and we want our seniors to get the help that they deserve. So what I want to ask you to do, if you are eligible, is to go sign up at pa.gov/PTRR and fill out your application. If you feel like you need some help filling out your application, you can go see Commissioner Higgins and the commissioners here in Center County. You can visit your state rep. You can visit your state senator, and they can help you fill it out as well. And actually, the next person who's going to be speaking can help you as well through the AAAs. The bottom line is this is your money, and we want you to get it. I'm mindful that there are rising costs, and we want to help you be able to deal with that, stay in your home, stay in your apartment, and be able to live out your golden years with dignity and respect. Now, I want to close by just pointing something out to all of you who are here today, and I'm grateful for everyone who came out to join us today here in Phillipsburg. We got this done in just my first 6 months in office. And we got it done notwithstanding the fact that I am literally the only governor in the entire country with a divided legislature. Think about that for a minute. Our House is led by Democrats, our Senate is led by Republicans. And in these hyper-polarized times nationally, I know it's hard to find ways to bring Democrats and Republicans together. Yet I always believed that it was common sense, it was the right thing to do to stand up for our seniors. And we were able to bring Democrats and Republicans together to get this done. So in addition to helping seniors in Pennsylvania, helping those who are disabled with this relief, I hope you also feel a sense of pride in your state government that we can find ways to work together and get big things done. And that the name of the game in this business is compromise. When you compromise, good things can happen for seniors, and good things can happen for Phillipsburg, good things can happen for everybody in Pennsylvania. And that is the cause of my work, listening to all of you, finding ways to bring people together, and then to get stuff done here in Pennsylvania. So I want to thank you for joining us here today, and it is my pleasure now to bring up Brian Meter to say a few words. Brian is a volunteer with the AAA. Brian is also a retired accountant, so he's the one guy who knows how to do math up here. And Brian has assisted seniors throughout Center County in applying for the property tax rent rebate. So part of this $266 million that's going out to seniors is thanks in part to Brian helping them fill out the application. So ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to bring up Brian Meter to say a few words at this time. Thank you all very much. Brian?
Thank you. Well, those were nice words. Thank you. My name is Brian Meter. I'm a volunteer with the VITA organization, which is Volunteer Income Tax Assistance. And we are, that is a federal program under the auspices that actually does federal income tax, we do state income tax, we do local income tax, and we do the property tax and rent rebate program. There are about 10,000 VITA organizations in the United States, and all of them have to be associated with a nonprofit, have to be supported and sponsored by a nonprofit. In our case, it's the Office of Aging of Center County, and under that is the Retired Senior Volunteers, which I'm a part of. And within our group, we have about 30 volunteers that do taxes. We do taxes 6 days a week in 5 different locations in Center County. Last year, we did over 1,900 tax returns for individuals. The only criteria is we recommend about $65,000 or less. So we see lots of seniors, lots of young people, sort of that spectrum in between people. Probably over half of the people that we do are seniors and doing their taxes. A lot of them aren't PC literate or comfortable, certainly not comfortable with government forms and requirements. As you all know, there's still a lot of paperwork no matter what you do and no matter how you do it. However, last year we did approximately 1,900 returns. Out of that, those include the rent rebate, property tax rebate people. Last year, we did 400 property tax rebates. This year, we did 800, and we're still counting because we're one of the few organizations open all year in Center County. We do that in the Center County office building. So we're very proud of those numbers. And it's especially rewarding to me and all of our volunteers with the change in the tax requirements. The fact that in this whole PTR program that they have, after many years, have lifted the income requirements from 35 for property owners to 45, counting only half the SOCH. But more importantly, in my mind, was the disparity that existed where if you were a renter, you had to make $15,000, and now you can make $45,000, the same as property owners. And let's face it, renters are paying property tax one way or another. It's through their landlord or whatever. And it was a big gap of people that were left out of the program, and we really feel all good about that that has changed under the governor and this legislature. So we couldn't be a more part of the program, the group of people that we work with, and everyone that supports us. So I want to thank everybody. With that, I'd like to introduce Darlene Harper, who is a resident here at the Towers. Darlene?
Just hold right on to here,
Yeah.
okay?
Oh, got my glasses. Hello. This is the first time I was qualified to receive the rent rebate because they raised the earning limit this year. So this will relieve some of the pressure of my financial burden and improve the quality of my life. I will use the money for groceries and medicine. It will relieve the stress of any emergencies that may come up. Also, I will use some of the money on my 2 grandchildren for Christmas. The rent rebate helps senior citizens supplement their income. For the residents on the Phillipsburg Towers and across the state, this allows them to pay their expenses without worrying where they will get the money. I want to thank Governor Shapiro and his administration for raising the income level. It will give us peace of mind, which is precious to us. Thank you. Now I'd like to introduce the secretary.
Thank you, Darlene.
Okay.
Great job.
Good morning, everyone. I'm excited to join.
follow.
Very tough. I'm excited to join you all today and grateful to all of you for welcoming me into your beautiful community. The biggest perk in my job is to get out to see older Pennsylvanians all across this beautiful state that we live in. Thanks to Governor Shapiro, a long overdue focus on the needs of older Pennsylvanians is happening. From Act 7 of 2023's historic expansion of the property tax and rent rebate program to the signing of Aging Our Way PA, our first strategic plan for older Pennsylvanians, this administration is working hard to keep its word. We are working hard to get things done that really do make a difference. As someone who has spent 20 years in public service, I am honored to be part of history in the making. For more than 2 decades, I have been on the ground in communities much like this one, helping people find solutions to everyday problems. Sadly, I've also had to support them through hard choices and sacrifices, like moving from their homes when they no longer can afford the upkeep, or having to give up their pets because they're downsizing and the apartment that they can afford does not take them. They aren't pleasant examples, but they're real, and there's countless others to match. When I think about what we're celebrating here today, I take pride in the fact I am part of the administration that delivered the single largest tax cut to older Pennsylvanians in my entire career. When I think about what this means for older adults and our disabled neighbors, what I think about is new hearing aids or new dentures when insurance doesn't cover them, new tires for your car so it passes inspection, a new lift chair that you always wanted, or treating your grandkids to ice cream without having to worry about making a sacrifice down the road. This is real life money in my mind. Thanks to Governor Shapiro, Secretary Brown, and many bipartisan leaders in the General Assembly, we are seeing this and other historic investments in supports for older Pennsylvanians becoming a reality. As we engaged in communities all across Pennsylvania in creation of Aging Our Way, we heard overwhelmingly that housing in all its forms was the biggest concerns that older adults had. Whether it be their taxes or their roofs, this is what they told us we need to focus on. The PTRR expansion is a big step in getting things done for our older adults. The single most important thing we need to remember today is that if you qualify, you need to apply. The team at the Department of Revenue will help you with your application. You can get help at this senior center. You can get help from your state representative's office or your senator's office, or Brian or Boyd with the Center County Department of Aging can help you get this application done. This is far too important for paperwork to be a problem. We can help you, and we will help you with that. We also need you to help us reach out to the neighbors who you know that may qualify for this program. We can't help them apply without you helping us spread the word that more people now qualify, and it may be one of them. I want to close with a moment of gratitude for the Pennsylvania Lottery team at the Department of Revenue. Without our lottery, programs like this one and all the programs that my department administers could never exist. Secretary Brown did an amazing job this week reminding everyone to keep playing our Pennsylvania Lottery. It keeps our services strong, and it makes sure that all the work that we do and all the work that they do at the Pennsylvania Lottery reaches older Pennsylvanians each and every day so that they can live in our communities among us with the dignity and the respect that they deserve. And with that, I would like to turn it back over to our Governor, Josh Shapiro.
Thanks, Secretary. Thank you. Listen, as the Secretary said, and as Gus, our second most famous groundhog, says, keep on scratching, okay? We need you to play the lottery if you so choose. And let me also just echo the sentiments that were shared by the Secretary in thanking those who work with older Pennsylvanians every single day. It really, really matters, the work that they do, and they're having a positive impact on people's lives from right here in Center County to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And I want to also especially thank those at the Department of Revenue who are driving out these resources every day, led by Allison Morgan, who's our Executive Deputy Secretary at the Department of Revenue, and her team there. The Revenue Department is processing these checks quickly, making sure the dollars reach your way. And these are some of the wonderful people that work in state government that you don't really see every day, but they're doing great work for you. And so I just want to give them a special shout out and let them know how much we appreciate them. And so with that, before I get the chance to meet all of you, I got to answer some questions from them. So let me do that quick, and then we'll get the chance to spend a few minutes together. So with that, if there's any questions from the media, I'm happy to take your questions now.
Gary, go ahead.
Governor, can you give us any insight on the budget process? Are you concerned or confident about a new deal within the next few days?
Listen, as I said before, I'm the only governor in the entire nation with a divided legislature. House led by Democrats, Senate led by Republicans. And everybody's got very different ideas on how to move Pennsylvania forward. But I will tell you, we have had very productive and very honest dialogue. And dialogue where every party involved understands that the only way we get this done is to compromise. And that is what we're working toward now. I am feeling cautiously optimistic that we're going to get this done soon. And I'm grateful to all parties involved for remaining at the table, continuing to work hard on this, and understanding that we all have a collective responsibility to get this done for the good people of Pennsylvania. There's a lot of good we're going to be able to do together, and I'm confident we're going to get it done soon.
Thank you.
I also had a question about the budget. So last year you proposed a 7% raise for Penn State, but that ended up flat. But as several speakers mentioned, inflation continues to increase, and the university has been making some cuts, including to our own station, 20% cut next year. Are you hopeful from conversations with other lawmakers that Penn State will get
Here's
an
something to
increase?
say. I won't speak about any details of our discussions or any details of what may be contained in a final product. I will say that I'm a big believer in Penn State. I am someone who has put forth a comprehensive plan on how to invest in higher education. There have been other ideas that have been put forth by lawmakers of both parties, and we're all going to work together to make sure that we do well by our universities. But I'm not going to get into any specifics as to where things stand in those conversations right now. Yes.
Hi, I'm from the local newspaper, and this is an old coal mining town that is still affected by polluted, abandoned mine lands, and our water is pretty filthy and awful, which reduces our quality of life. And I know that there are efforts that you've put forward to help clean up this area. Can you tell us about those and what our community can be doing to take advantage of those?
We need to invest in cleaning up our abandoned and orphaned wells and mines. I've made it a big priority. It not only impacts drinking water, it leads to higher greenhouse gas emissions all across our Commonwealth. Under my leadership in my administration, we have capped more orphaned and abandoned wells and are working on more mine projects than in the entirety of the last decade in Pennsylvania, in just my first year in office. We have a ways to go, but we are putting real resources into that. The resources we're putting into it come from not just state dollars that have been appropriated by lawmakers of both parties, but also by the Biden administration, who have been wonderful partners in this. We've been able to draw down significant federal dollars in order to be able to do this work. And we know here in the central part of our state, there's real needs in that area, and we're going to continue to invest in that. It's the right thing to do for public health and safety and our planet.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody.